We are here at the biggest barbecue pit room in the world. So Big Don, explain that to me. The biggest barbecue pit room in the world. What do you mean by that?
So we have more offset smokers in one place than any other barbecue joint. So you've been to Franklin's, Terry Black's, the great places in Texas, usually 5,000-gallon offsets, which are these. We've got 9. So it's a lot of barbecues in one place, a lot of real estate, and we can cook a shitload of meat.
So when you're talking volumes and all that, you will be up there with some of the big guys as well?
Yeah, I think we probably fall in the top 5 or 10. And
Okay, yeah.
everyone else in that list would be in Texas. So we're the biggest barbecue
I was going
joint.
to say, for that to be in Australia.
And in Perth as well, right?
And in Perth.
I mean, Perth has there's something about Perth that we're out in the middle of nowhere. When you do something really great, people really rally and support. And yeah, this started in my yard, and I can't believe what it's grown to either, to be honest with you.
Well, there you go. Well, you must be doing something good. Let's get into it.
Okay, before we start, let's have a whiskey or something and get started. Loosen up a bit.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go.
Get the barrel and everything.
Well, these little ones are getting pretty close.
Woo!
So this is a rye whiskey. So it's got a little bit of spice, kind of like a bourbon, but no corn.
Straight out the barrel. How about that?
By the way, this is 60%.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's 18 months old, so it's not quite ready, but it's the oldest one I got.
We'll have a zip and then let's get into some cooking. All right, I'm excited. What do we have here?
So this is a 100-day dry-aged Scotch fillet. So it's a marbled Angus finished on grain. After about 14 days, we coat it in beef tallow. If you let it go 50, 60, 70 days, you get a lot of brown, rotted meat that needs to be trimmed. And the amazing thing with the beef tallow coating is that you can age it for 200, 250, 300 days, and the flavor in the meat is insane. Mm-hmm. Maybe a bit too much, like blue cheese and feet.
So what's the exact time you like to do that?
100 to 150 days is my
Okay.
sweet spot. So this is a method from Lennox Hasty at Fire Door in Surrey Hills. And he does a 250-day dry-aged steak using this method. And it's pretty amazing. Like
Okay.
probably the best steakhouse in Australia.
That's something that I've always thought as well. Like a lot of times you see them when they're dry aging and all that, and they've got to carve so much of it off.
Too
And
much
sometimes
waste.
I'm like, oh man, surely we can do something like this and just save a little bit, you know what I mean? So it's good. It's
Well,
good
and in a
to.
barbecue joint, you have surplus tallow because the briskets net 40, 50 liters of liquid tallow every week. So we cook with tallow, we fry with tallow. We really don't use anything but maybe a bit of olive oil. Cool, so we'll slice it down the middle, and then we'll each take a side and we'll trim everything off until we got a perfect Scotch
Okay,
fillet.
sweet.
We'll do them in a 400-gram steak. Let's do it.
Let's go. Cut it in half, huh?
Start with a cut down the middle. and
Straight
let's see how
down
she
there, you
looks.
happy there?
Yep, perfect.
Yeah? All right, let's go.
So some people use butter for this, but
Yeah.
beef tallow, steak, beef, it's much better with tallow in my opinion.
All right.
So, looks pretty good.
Yep.
You don't see much that's going to need to be trimmed, but there's a
Not
bit
at
of work
all.
to do because it's coated in fat and it's starting to melt in our hands.
Yes,
'cause
it
it's
is.
Wagyu. So we are going to take away all of the fat with the knife. We're going to trim off a couple mils, but don't do too much or you waste it.
Okay, yeah. So let's get the beef tallow off first, you're saying, huh?
Let's do it, yeah.
All right.
Try not to take off more than a couple of mils off the steak.
So you're already taking that off, or you want the beef tallow first?
Either or, just don't mess with my steak.
All right. I'll try my best.
It doesn't matter if you leave a little of that tallow on, you're not too worried, it's just gonna melt off anyway. But when you look at the outside of that steak, anything that's brown like this, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
trim off.
All right, man, that stuff melts quick, eh? Tallow melts straight away.
Wagyu fat will render at like, let's say 50, 60 degrees Celsius, whereas Angus fat, you'll have to take it up into the 70s. Like a Wagyu brisket gets soft and cooks faster than an Angus for sure. Like an Angus brisket at the same time as a Wagyu's feeling soft, it'll be rock hard still.
Okay, sorry, mate.
Nah, it's
I'm looking at this brown bit. I'm like, oh man.
No. Don't overdo it. A little bit of that
All right,
tastes
yeah,
good,
okay,
but
all right,
too
all right.
much and it's going to be a
bit of a
too
perfectionist, man,
funky.
look.
No, that's perfect, man. So these
All
are,
right.
but if you left that in the dryager for 100 days without that tallow, you would have removed all of it.
Well,
It'd
that
be
first
dust.
cut that I did, the first cut was not straight at all as well.
It's all right. Just eyeball it and look at it. Let's go 400 gram steak.
So you're doing there, I'm going to go about here.
495.
Ooh,
Oh,
a bit thick.
I'm worried about my own now. We were aiming for 500, right? We're generous at Big Don's. I was like 200 gram over. This goes to show you though, like we do actually give like 20, 30% more than we advertise almost all the time. Now what we do is we brine them for 24 hours. So a steak gets a salt brine, which is a dry brine. So we're not sticking it in water or anything.
Yeah.
And we give it a light sprinkle. We pat it in both sides, put it on a cake rack so it has airflow in the fridge. And then it goes into the fridge uncovered for 24 hours.
That's why we got it wrong. We didn't have enough of this.
So that's what you're aiming for. Is just a bit of salt pressed in. But don't overdo the salt, obviously. So, and we just use a basic cooking salt. So there's nothing fancy. This isn't kosher. This isn't flake salt. This is like really simple cooking salt. Saxa Blue Bag from Woolies and Coles will do.
Done.
Perfect. Yeah, that looks good. And give it a little pat as well. Just make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. And then they go straight in the fridge. We get dry brine for 24 hours. We pull them out. We chuck them on the smoker. We'll show you that.
Yep.
We smoke them for 2-3 hours to rare, which is, I only think in Fahrenheit with barbecue, so 110 Fahrenheit.
All right, sweet. I'm excited. Let's do it. All right, so that's done for the steaks. Obviously, we prepared them. Then we're going to let them brine for 24 hours. But Big Don's is going to take us through the whole process of Big Don's, what they do here. There's obviously so many questions I'm going to have while they're smoking some of the steaks that they've already prepared to get it to temperature for what we're going to eat later. Let's just see how this whole process is. Let's get it. Show me around this place. I'm pumped. I want to see it all. Let's go.
So Thursday is sausage day.
Sausage
you were
day.
here last year making snags with us.
Yes, I was.
So on Wednesdays we make them, and on Thursdays we smoke them. So we've got 2,000 sausages cooking. We make them all in-house. So basically, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're a butcher shop. Thursday, we start turning it into a restaurant. So we smoke all the snags. We start smoking some of the pre-cuts that we can do. And we make all the sides Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow is Friday, and that's brisket day. So we do have a few on, though, as well, if we want to have a look. Sure. So the snags we make are all made in-house with hog casing. So natural number 38 casing, which is this big thick one. The only thing bigger than this out of the hog would be like a beef casing, which is a bit too big. These are 250 to 300 grams. We make them with all of the trim from the shop. So we use brisket, pork, lamb. We do a chicken snag that's banging, although the secret to a good chicken snag is adding beef fat.
Okay,
We make them all pretty uniform. We do around 300 to 500 kilos a week. And we cure them overnight before we smoke them for about 4 hours. So they need like really slow smoke for 4 hours, and you only want to cook them to an internal temperature of about 60 degrees, so they're food safe. And then you ice them, chill them, and you double smoke them again on Saturday when you serve to the public.
Oh, okay. Do you always just do the same sausage, or sometimes you might chuck something else in there? Whether it might be like, you know what, we're going to do kangaroo, we're going to do venison, or you just always stick to the same?
No, we've done heaps of variety. I think we've done every meat on earth except for elephant.
So with that, what is your preferred fat to go with some of them leaner meats?
Beef fat. So
beef fat, okay.
We use Wagyu brisket, so we use plenty of brisket trim and brisket fat in most snags. If it's too lean, so for example, we do a kangaroo sausage. Kangaroo's too lean to smoke. So most cuts, like even the tail, which is the fattiest section, is too lean. So we blend kangaroo fillet about 70-30 with 30% brisket fat. So it gives you the right moisture content, roughly 70-30 lean to fatty.
Oh, awesome. Man, I'm going to have a lot of questions. Wait.
Oh, wow. Fire away.
Me and my audience are going to have a lot of questions as you take it. So I hope you're ready for them, because I'm loving this. Again, smoke, everyone knows I love my meats, my barbecues, and my smoked stuff. And we obviously got a bit of time, so I'm going to pick your brain. I hope you're all right with that. Let's go. You need wood. I see you got like tons of wood over here. What's the process? What size, how am I meant to go? I want to cut some. What's the size I need to cut it?
So we're cutting everything to wrist or forearm size. Well, maybe my forearms, not your forearms.
Okay, yeah.
But we're using West Australian Jarrah, and everybody in Australia is going to laugh because I never say it right. Jarrah.
Jarrah.
It's a West Australian red hardwood. It's a wonderful wood. It's similar to red gum, but it's a little less ashy, a little cleaner, and it's plentiful in WA. So we chop it all down to wrist, forearm size. We load the fire so that we have good airflow.
Yep.
You know, you're in a room here with 8 or 9 pits running, and there's very little smoke in the air because we burn a clean fire, which is really critical for the flavor of the food, and just not, breathing that shit in.
Do you split it all by hand?
Yeah, everything's by hand. We had a splitter. We wore it out in 3 months. So everything's split by hand. We get it brought in quarter-size rounds, and then we split it down 2-3 times before it goes on the fire. So we go through around 1,000 to 1,200 kilos a week. I think last financial year we did 40 ton. I think this year we're on track for about 60 ton. So it's a lot of wood, yeah.
So you do all that, and then you're saying it's one day as well. On is it the Saturday?
So although we open Saturday only, I have 10 to 12.
You're doing this amount, the numbers you're doing is just for the Saturday?
That's it, yeah. 2,500 to 3,000 kilo of meat, and we open for 5 hours on Saturday. We do a bit of catering. We might do something small on Friday, but we fill all these pits up, and we open for that one big service, and it's like a party in here. So
wow.
But the prep hours that go into it, we have 12 full-time guys. We do about 500, 600 man hours, labor hours before we open. So it's Tuesday onwards. There's 10 to 12 of us here prepping just for that Saturday.
The kilos and the numbers you're hearing of tons of wood that they're doing, through the week for the one day. So it's a process. They're not mucking around. That's impressive. Hey, I want to give this a crack. So forearm. I'm just going to have a go. I'm just going to do it.
Get them looking like this.
Like that.
Yeah, a little thicker than that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say. So you reckon I'll get 3 there?
Perfect.
Or you reckon I go 1 right there? Boom.
Nah, 1 down the middle.
1 down the middle. All right, there we go. There we go. Bang. All right, let's see if this works. What's your feet?
That's probably the perfect piece right there.
That one's there.
That's a great split.
And this one, would I chip this off?
Yeah,
For
go
kindling,
for it, yeah.
right?
The issue is you put on a piece that's too big, it's going to smolder and burn dirty. But if you put on a piece that's too small, the flames are too high and hot. So you're trying to go low and slow at like 120 C, 250 Fahrenheit for the whole day. Oh yeah, try that one.
That one's going to be a bit harder, so I'm going to need to give this one an actual hit, right?
Perfect, mate. Perfect.
Look at that.
Excellent.
That's
That's
the
exactly
one.
what we need. Now, so this fire is ready to be turned and rebuilt. So the
Rebuilt.
way we run a fire is see how the flames are pretty low.
Yep.
We turn over the coal bed. Basically, you need your shovel. So grab it.
All right, yeah.
Get going. So what we want to do is that log there, we want to push it to the side and dig it in a bit. And then we want to break up the rest of the coals.
Okay, so get it to the side first.
Just push it to the left. Perfect.
Yeah.
Break up those coals. Push them back a bit from
Push
the
them
door.
back as well, yeah. All right, get them away from the door.
And then all we're doing on this one, because we're cooking sausages, is we don't want to build it like a teepee or a log cabin or have the logs go too high.
You happy where that is?
Yeah, that looks great, yeah. We don't want the flames to go too high. So what we do is we just chuck a log there, one in the middle,
One middle.
and we let the flames run. See, they're sunk in a bit, and you could even use your shovel to do a bit of this if you don't want flames. So if you don't want flames, you dig them in,
Oh, okay.
because now the airflow is going to be a bit smoldery and dirty. It's for sausages you want. Talking 100 C, 200
The right amount of
Fahrenheit.
heat, low fire.
Exactly, lots of smoke.
Okay,
So
there you go.
that's
See
how
all
we
the
would,
tips.
Now, if this was brisket or we wanted a bit more heat, you'd do the same thing, but you would just chuck a piece on top like that, and you let a little bit more flame build up. Because of the way we built it, we'll come back in 30 minutes. It'll look exactly like what you just did.
Yep.
We break it down and do it again, and you do that on a brisket cook. You do that 3 times an hour for 12, 13, 14 hours. So one guy will stoke the fires for the first 5, 6 hours by himself, and he will split wood and stoke that fire 150 times.
150 times.
At the 6 hour across all the pits. So at the 6 hour mark, a couple more guys come and join him. Because at this point now, we're going to start looking at the briskets, looking at the meat, pulling it off. But the one fire stoker splits wood and stokes fires for 6 straight hours. So people queue up here, then they go into this unit and they wrap around the outside, go out the roller, down the front of the building, and usually down the side.
Oh,
so
wow.
there's like, even though we pre-sell, we try and keep the wait to 60 to 90 minutes. In the old days, we would serve way less customers. The line was 6 hours and we would run out. So we switched during COVID to pre-order. So then after 2020, 2021, we'd been pre-order only. We asked the customers on social media, do you want us to go back to just walk up and order? Or do you want us to continue doing pre-order? And they said pre-order only.
Okay, nice.
On Tuesdays, when we post the menu for sale at 7 p.m., it sells out in 1 to 2 minutes. So it's been pretty high demand.
Here in Perth.
In
See?
Perth, yeah.
That's right, in Perth. How good. Love that.
So right now, we look back at our fire. It's too hot. I threw that log on to show you. So if I had done that, and if I leave it like that, I'm going to burn the snags. So the simple way to control your fire, pull that log off, and then control it with your door. So choke the amount of oxygen that you're letting in, and now the flames will drop. You're not going to burn the meat. This is one of our oldest pits. This has kind of been relegated to sausage pit. It's a bit of a piece of to be honest.
Oh, okay,
but
yeah.
You switch over to these ones, the primitives that have been built in the US. So we brought these over from the States, and man, an Australian example would be, you get better tools, you're a better chef. You get better tools, you're a better tradie. You know, this is like a Zito versus Makita, right?
Yeah.
Like these are quality barbecues. The ones like that one that we designed and that I designed in Australia in the early days, they didn't cook well at all. The door is practically closed, and yet the airflow is excellent. So if you peek in there, the flames aren't too high, it's nice and steady, it turns over. You leave it for 2-3 minutes, the flames build up.
Yep.
So you have to use the door to control your heat. Like there's something about cooking this way that's primal, that feels
100%.
right.
Yeah, I agree. So when I'm on the farm and I'm doing my own cooking, I'll be able to just cook over the fire. It's nothing beats it.
It's definitely special. I'd love to come and eat some of the food cooked on the farm at your place, or send some venison over for us to smoke up.
We definitely could do that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Honestly, we'll run
Yeah.
the Volk special.
There you go. Be ready for that. Now's a good time to look in. How many we got going at the moment?
So we only got 35 on today. So
Only 30.
This is for Friday. Friday is a pretty small service. Tomorrow on Friday, once these are off, we put on 120 to 150
Wow.
for Saturday. So you're cooking brisket for about 14, 15 hours total. Your first one might come off in 8 hours. Your last one is always one persistent bugger that's like 14, 15 hours. So
Damn.
this is a small cook today.
Small cook, just a few massive big smokers full of them, but yeah, only a small
Yeah,
one.
come have a look. There's quite a few.
I have a smell
They look
of that,
pretty
mate.
good. The briskets we use are always grain finished and Wagyu.
Okay, yep.
There is no such thing as a grass-fed brisket that will be this big and cook this well. It has to be grain finished. I mean, I love grass-fed steak, grass-fed beef.
But you need that.
Yeah.
You
Well,
need that.
Because you need the intermuscular fat, which is genetic, obviously from a Wagyu, and then just like us, or at least like me, you need that layer of fat over the top,
Sorry,
and that's
mate.
from its diet.
Yeah.
So you feed it on grain at the end, and you get that fat cap, which I'll show you on a raw one. But it's really important to get a brisket that's thick, well trimmed, and a good fat cap.
I mean, I just love even looking at one. You get one brisket, you just like, even just you just seeing it wobbling around and all that. I just love it. The smell, the juices going everywhere. But then you get 30 of them or 120 of them.
The good thing with it is with barbecue is that there's no shortcuts, right? Like if there was a shortcut, someone would have done it by now.
Yep.
Like a steak, you can do that in 5-10 minutes, but a brisket, every time you shorten the cook by an hour, you try and punch it out in 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, you're sacrificing some form of quality.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not as tender, it's not as juicy, it's not as rendered. The bark's not as good. So there's a lot of things that you're looking for. We're 8 hours into this cook, we haven't wrapped anything yet. And the bark looks pretty good, but it's still miles away. So we're gonna close it because otherwise we'll
Yep.
be here all night. But yeah, it's a long process. So this is the cool room where we've got the briskets trimmed for tomorrow. So squeeze through in here. These first 4 trolleys
Oh, smell
are filled
that,
with
man.
trolleys are filled with briskets that are ready to go. And so we trim these on Tuesday. And the one thing I would say is a secret of Big Don's is that we brine every piece of meat that we serve. So briskets are brined in a salt they're just rubbed in their salt and pepper. But the salt brine process is 72 hours. Everything from chicken to pork to lamb to beef is brined. So we don't rub and chuck it on the smoker for any of our cuts. The benefit is that it's significantly better bark and it's juicier because just like brining a steak, you get more moisture trapped in from the salt. And we leave them in here until we're ready to chuck them on Friday.
How does it smell so good in here? It's not even, it's not even cooked. What am I?
It's probably the cornbread.
Yeah, oh, is that?
So this is probably the most famous dish and that we serve besides brisket. This is our side. It doesn't look very sexy right now, but this is our cornbread.
Smells
The
good.
key, I guess from a process point of view, is that all sides that we serve can't be cooked to order. They need to be ready to serve immediately. So that's why you see mac and cheese, beans, cornbread.
Has some of that's already been smoked?
No, so the cornbread
Okay.
is baked in the oven. We cover it in a honey butter. We do smoke the tallow that we use when, we bake it though. So we use tallow rather than cooking oil as much as we can.
I'm definitely getting like a smoke stuff. Like I feel like I'm getting a smoke
Awesome.
or
Probably some of the snags.
snags. That must
Oh.
be what I'm getting, right?
A little bit of pork belly. So
Pork belly, okay.
there's a few cuts that you can cook in advance. So
Mm-hmm.
pork belly is one of them because these are going to get cubed up and turn into burnt ends.
Okay, yeah.
So we can smoke them on Wednesday, chill them, cube them into squares, put them back on the pit, glaze them with sugar, syrup, and barbecue sauce, and hit them with smoke. And that's how you get your burnt ends. So the entire restaurant's based on process. Like we're constantly having something to do, and then having all that 2,500 kilos of meat ready to cook and cooked and served at the exact same time. So
Wow.
there's no let's just chuck another steak on, let's chuck another brisket on. It has to be ready.
Yeah, yep.
This isn't very exciting, but we need 2 sea containers because we've run out of space. So as we've expanded, just a couple weeks ago, we bought 2 20-foot sea container fridges and freezers because we are running out of space to keep all the meat. So the problem for us growth-wise is we're not trying to get any bigger, but where do you put all the meat, right?
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
So this is probably 20% of the total meat we cooked for the week. So this is just what we had left over from this week. And then we get our deliveries through next week, and it's about 6 or 7 pallets. So it's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of meat, man. Damn. Whew, that's cold.
It might say Big Don's on the shirt. But the people we've had on the team full time have been here 5 to 7 years. And we're the only restaurant, I think, in the world that has 100% retention. No one's ever quit. So some of the guys like John here, who's hiding and turning away from the camera. Hey, John, how you doing? So John has cooked more briskets than all but maybe 7 or 8 guys in the world.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
To give you an example, last financial year, John cooked about 6,800 briskets. In the previous 7 years of the business, I personally only cooked about 6,000 briskets. So in 1 year last year, he
You've done what you've
surpassed the
done.
volume that I did in my entire career. So as the business has grown, we've had guys join the team and their skill sets, have just exploded. And it's why the food's consistently good. So
sure.
it's not me doing it.
Always the case, right? The team, all the people that they might not, as you're saying, they might not see, but I mean, there's the team that you have.
So I'm gonna introduce you to a few of the boys as we go, if that's all right.
Yep.
So I'll introduce you to Brandon. He's one of our oldest members of the crew, and he's probably the best at trimming briskets.
Yep.
He's got a fine eye for it. So if you want to trim brisket,
Sweet, let's do it. Yeah, for sure. John, yeah?
Brandon.
Brandon. Oh, where did I get John?
That's John.
Oh, John's there. My bad, man. Come on, I'm impressed that I remember the John, to be honest. I'm actually impressed with that.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. All right, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
So we're just going to trim a brisket. This is a 4-5 score Wagyu brisket from WA. Always WA.
I think I've done one with you guys before. I don't know, how was the last time? Was it okay?
You ate it, mate. We delivered it to you.
Oh, that was the one. Yeah, you said that. Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
So I always try and go, you want it to be like a nice like football-ish shape.
right, yeah.
So I always try and go like my first cut, I'll just go down here.
Yep.
And then you can see how much fat you're working with on the lean section here.
Yep.
And that's maybe a little too thin. So I'm just gonna now bring it back a bit.
Yep.
Just so it cooks nice and evenly. Straighten it up. And then I'll do the same thing on this side, although I try and take as minimal off on this side as I can,
Okay.
because it's gonna be meat pretty much right to like there. And it's always good meat. Round it out. So that's already like the shape I'm looking for. And then this end, there's always like a big knuckle of fat in here.
Okay.
And it kind of gets thin here. So I always just see where it starts to get fat and then just sort of come down here and take this off.
And that's the piece you're talking about in there.
Yes, it's just like
Yep.
you feel it. There's just a big knuckle
Yeah.
of fat there. It's just
I mean, you can even feel that just pressing all that. Yeah.
yeah. I mean that's nice meat, but
Yeah,
this
but then
part
you-
it's so thin that if you had left it on the pit, it would just burn and turn real crumbly
Yep.
and jerky like. If you feel here, it's really hard fat. So I'm just going to take a bit of this fat off. And then we'll keep that aside for tallow. And then once again, just sort of neaten it up. But you just don't want it too fatty. This fat here is quite hard still, whereas you start getting to the bit where it's less fat, it's quite soft. And you just don't want to take too much off because then like you'll scalp it and it's like you want some fat on there. This brand that we have at the moment, there's just not a lot of fat on them. So I don't want to take too much off. And that I'm pretty happy with.
All right.
Like shape-wise anyway. And then now I just check the bottom, which that bit of fat comes through here.
Yep.
And a lot of the times it's being cut out. And I just like a lot of this like silver skin, I just try and take off. But it hits a point where you're like, I'm just doing too much. I can just, it's fine. Like this isn't competition. So it's like, I don't need to make sure it's like 100% perfect. But that's pretty good.
That looks good
Do
to
you want
me.
to give a crack at trimming one?
Well, let's do it. All right, now let's remember this.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly wash
Ooh,
my
that's a
hands
decent
again.
sized thing.
It's two muscles. There's this muscle is running through here, and then this muscle is like sitting on top of it like this. And this is your fatty side, and that's your lean side.
So maybe-
You take a bit off,
Yeah.
but it's not outrageous considering we
I
know.
might just take a chunk off, or you
Yeah,
want them in
yeah, yeah,
pieces?
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. There we go. Go over here, and then we're gonna come around, and then straight like this. You reckon?
Yeah. Because then you'll see how like fat the meat is versus the like fat.
And then here we're going. We actually take a little bit. We want to curve that as well.
Yeah.
I'll go here. Whoops.
And
Straight
just
through
take
there.
that bit off.
All right.
Just so that way when you're slicing the lean section, you're getting a nice,
All right.
decent
Now.
slice. Then you just round it off.
Oh, let me go that way. Now I'm gonna come here, and then right along that probably. And then I'm again. I'll just try and take a little bit of the corners.
Yeah.
You want there?
Yeah, just so that it's not like any weird parts sticking up and I gotta burn when it's on the pit.
Right. I'm being too botanic now.
And that's one of the good things about this brand. I mean, good and bad. They just don't have like some of them have just like a giant cap of fat that you just spend a good 20 minutes just shaving off and shaving off. And sometimes you're just like, how much longer until I get to the meat? Ideally, I'd like more fat on the end than like theirs pretty good, but like theirs not. And if you see like there's no fat through here, no fat there, and they're just not as sort of fatty animals, and it just means that the potential for that bit of meat to be drier is higher.
There we go. Now I'm doing the prosciutto, you know.
Yeah.
All right. And then, wow, almost there. So that's how you trim a brisket. I think I've done a great job. They're telling me I've done a good enough job.
Yeah.
but I'm also a world champion fighter. Maybe they're just telling me that just because it was something like that. And I got a knife, you know what I mean? Like
6-1, half
but I know, it looks all right. It's a good size brisket right there. I'm happy with that. All right, so the steaks we just prepared, they're obviously gonna be put away. We're gonna brine for 24 hours. Alex here has already prepared some for us and smoked some. So what's that process? And what are we doing next?
So basically with all of our steaks, we dirty smoke them. So you just want to get like color through all the steaks before we sear them for service. Helps get a good crust and helps get that like smoky flavor through all of it.
Yeah.
So we got 2 types today.
But how much of it are you actually cooking? Are you getting to a certain temperature or just no, it's not really cooking?
We
too
deal
much?
with everything in like Fahrenheit. So
Yep.
we take these ones, they're quite small cuts. So we'll take them up to 110 Fahrenheit.
Yep.
And then we chuck them on the sear, it'll go up to about 130 Fahrenheit. We take it to 110 because it's like just before rare, and then we finish it off with the sear, getting them to like that medium rare level.
Rare, okay, yep, all right.
Everything medium rare, we don't really like kind of cater to like
Okay,
well,
yeah,
unless
sweet.
you're pregnant or whatever. But we got 2 types for you today: Lake Janus sirloin, and then we got Wagyu Pardue sirloin. Difference is just grain-fed versus grass-fed.
So grass-fed, grain-fed.
Yeah, so you
Your
see
Wagyu.
like the yellow fat on the
Yep.
the grass-fed ones. They're like dairy cows, so just their diet's a lot different. The fat's a lot more softer when you're eating the steak. Probably our favorite cuts come from Lake Janus.
Oh, okay, yep.
We've only recently started stocking from them, but probably all the boys enjoy it. Just those dairy cows, I think, just that diet, getting into the meat.
So what do we do from here? So they've already been smoked, so they're already to the temperature you want?
Yep, they're up to temp. And
Yep.
then typically on a service day, we chuck them in like a shallow bane of liquid tallow. We let them rest in there for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour before service.
So let them bath in liquid gold for
Liquid
about
gold.
20, 30 minutes.
Today also we don't have that many, so we might just give them a little bit of a quick wash with the tallow before they go on the PK.
All right, so Alex obviously showed us the last bit of that preparation. Now we're ready to sear. Kenji is going to take us through the sear. I'm not even going to say it, I'm going to let you
Say
do
it.
the work. You just go. No, you just go. You do. You're
Yep.
the man for the sear.
Yep.
Show me how it's done. Show me how we do it here at Don's.
All good. So now we're just doing like a quick sear to have like crust on both sides to make the fat render even more. We take the steaks up to 130 degrees, 120 to 130 degrees. That's gonna give you medium rare steaks. But if you want to go higher, you can go 140. That's gonna be medium. So this grill is set up into 2 parts. This side is gonna be like the hot spots, which like coals is built up even more. And the coals are stacked a bit higher, so it's more contact with the meat. And this side is gonna be like the cold spot, which I'm gonna put the steaks after it reaches a certain temp
Yeah.
to that cold side to rest up a bit.
All right, here's a little question for you while we're waiting. Come have a look. Which one's Wagyu? Which one's grass-fed? You got 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're wrong! Now you were right. I guarantee you got that right. Bang, bang, bang. And then the grass-fed.
Yes, exactly. You can see the fat.
Obviously the white as well, but you can even just see
You can see the marbling
marbling.
through the smoke as well. See, it's starting to
Yeah.
form like a
Get some
good
good
crust.
color there.
Yes, that's what we want to
Ooh.
achieve.
There we go. We're starting to get, look at that render. It's starting to render now. Rendering
Starting
that
to
fat.
render more, which is good.
Now we're getting some heat.
Now we're doing the third flip.
All right, now look at these colors that we're getting.
So after the fourth flip, we're gonna start probing the steak just to check where we
Yeah.
at. So the goal is like 130 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like medium rare. 100 degrees, so we're 30 degrees below. So it needs a bit more sear to it, which is I'm gonna do the fat side. I don't usually cry, but the smoke
But
is making me cry.
barbecue.
Exactly.
It's beautiful, you know?
Exactly.
Brings a tear to your eyes.
All together. So now we're gonna probe it again. 130. Sir, it's best to give it a quick rest.
Yep.
Couple of minute rest before carving it, so the juices goes back inside the steak.
Yep. All right, so now the best part. You get to slice it up. There you go. That one's the Wagyu Lake Janus. Did I get that right?
Yep.
And we're going to carve it up. So let's see our carving up skills anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, it's nice and quick. Look at that. Boom. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go here. What I want to do, I've always wanted to do this one as well. Oh, there we go. Alright, after a couple of the whiskies, you went walkabouts, but you're back now that the food's ready. So tell us a little bit more. Obviously, again, we've got the Wagyu over here, and we've got the, was it grass-fed or was that over here? The
Lake Janus, yeah.
Janus,
so,
Lake Janus. Do you want to tell us a
the
bit more
Wagyu
about
is
it?
from Pardue Station in northern WA, right on the beach near Broome.
Yeah.
It's a really crazy place to have Wagyu steaks. And the Lake Janus is from down south in WA. So that's Jersey cow. It's 2 to 3 years old, ex-dairy. So very rare to have an aged dairy cow. So that's why you get that really yellow fat. It's delicious. Both of them will be good. See what you think, man.
Can't be bad.
Wash it down with the whiskey.
All right, let's do it. A little bit more. Yeah. I wanted that one. These ones were looking at me. Get some of that
Okay,
salt
I got
in there.
Now I'm gonna look like a drunk. What do you think?
Beautiful. Gonna have some of the Wagyu. We'll swap sides. So you can definitely get, like, so you do get that smoke. Obviously, you want to get that smoke through. In true Big Don's fashion. Make sure we get that smoke through there.
It's a barbecue joint. We want everyone to remember that, I guess. Low and slow.
That's right. And again, sorry, mate. People come to Big Don's. We obviously know they like to smoke meat.
So that's a nice salsa verde.
I might go here. Do this. Boom. There we go.
Cheers.
Oh, well, I'll do one more. No worries. An excuse. Let's do a real cheers now. Cheers. All right, now I feel bad. Look at everyone here waiting to eat some of this steak, and we're here having pieces by pieces by pieces. Get on in, go and grab some. Really appreciate you taking us through everything we got to do. You got to show us how everything works here at Big Don's, and thank you so much for taking the steak. So that was awesome to cook the steak, get to eat it through that process. Show me the place means a lot. Where can we find you, or on Instagram? What's your Instagram?
So Big Don's Meat at Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, and the usual stuff. Yeah, we're a pre-order restaurant only. So we post the menu on Monday, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for bookings, and they sell out in a minute or two. And then we're open Saturday only, serving all that meat. Come
Thank
on,
you
brother.
so much.
Appreciate
Really
it, man.
appreciate it. It was delicious and always good to see. Man, a lot of I do a cooking with bulk. I do meat all the time. It never gets old. Never gets old. But appreciate it. Hey, till next time, love yous. Make sure you do all the like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. You know what to do. Appreciate you.